Flames are pouring from the buildings now. There's cars toppled, buildings entire, just crushed and crumbled. I'm not sure if it's safe to report from my vantage point. I really need to leave. Civil Defense has informed me that the surrounding areas are in ruin. I see some people running now. In the opinion of this reporter, if this nation, or in fact the world, ever needed heroes, that time is now. That time is now.
And welcome to RetroforceGO, Destructoid's one and only retro podcast. This is your insanely tired host, Dyson, and joining me today are my lovely friends, Chad Concelmo.
What's up?
Topher Cantler.
Yep.
And definitely not Colette Bennett, Reverend Anthony.
Definitely not Colette Bennett.
Colette's on a plane.
I know. That girl's got more fucking, what do you call them, travel miles.
Frequent flyer miles.
Yeah. She's like, oh, I cashed in my freaking flyer miles and I bought Guam.
That's how the staff gets to events. Like, everybody's going to GDC soon. We're just using her frequent flyer miles to fly the whole staff to GDC.
I know. One lucky rider, she had enough freaking flyer miles that he gets to fly the plane.
I don't know if I want to be on that flight.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad I already live here. Well, welcome back, listeners. This is episode 36, as far as my sleep-deprived brain understands. And we're going to be talking about video game couples, because it's Valentine's Day.
Oh.
I
was actually going to say, I feel kind of awkward doing a Valentine's show with all guys and no Colette.
Well, you know what? Actually, I was thinking of about a majority of the Valentine listeners. We're all just going to be sitting at home on Monday.
Yeah, and most of us are single and lonely and unattractive, so it's completely fine.
Yeah. It's like, what else are we going to do today? Heroes isn't on Mondays.
We're different, though. We're single, lonely, and attractive.
Yeah, I'm dead sexy, so.
That's true. The four of us are ridiculously good looking.
I know. We should have the RetroforceGO pinup calendar.
I think you just came up with a brilliant marketing idea, and I'm totally putting it together.
I know. Yeah, we'll get some feedback on that. You got to let us know, listeners. But yeah.
All we get is 900 comments going, "No, God, no."
I know. Bring me a young priest and an old priest. No. That'd be fucking awesome. Yeah. Okay. Well, see what happens. But anyway, as usual, welcome to the show. Before we get to the second half, we're going to do the first half. And the first half is usually involves Chad and Topher telling us how awesome/horrible things are. And it usually comes down to Chad telling us how awesome things are, so we're going to start with that. Mr. Concelmo.
Guess what? I am not going to be telling you how awesome things
My
are.
My world has been destroyed.
Uh-oh.
I'm actually extra angry this week about the Virtual Console. I didn't put any smiley faces on any of my emails all week long.
That's not true at all.
Anthony's like, I just got one from you 5 minutes ago and I
did, and I had a smiley face.
I guess I was excited about Retroforce. So I guess the new thing, you remember how 5 weeks ago they started releasing 2 games?
Right.
And then last week they released 1 game, and I thought, okay, whatever, this might just be a phase, maybe they're trying something new. Well, they released 2 games yet again, so I guess this is their new thing, and I never got a note. I never got a carrier pigeon. I didn't get anything.
No Western.
I actually got your pigeon, and it was dead.
Oh.
And
well, deservedly so,
Microsoft points.
It had the note on it, though.
He got the pigeon in quotation marks. He killed the fucking thing.
Shut up, Anthony.
Yeah,
you ate some too.
If it's it wouldn't have got to if it was dead, so you must have killed it. But yeah, so there's only 2 games yet again, and I would have no problem with that. Well, I would still have a problem with it, but I would have less of a problem with it if they were great games. But this week they are horrible, 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 horrible games. And to make matters worse, not only is one of them bad, well, I'll explain what I'm talking about. The first game is Operation Wolf from the Nintendo. And I remember I played the heck out of Operation Wolf in the arcades. I used to love that game. And I remember...
The Uzi.
Yes, and I remember the Nintendo version actually wasn't that bad. I mean, obviously the graphics were way worse, but they had the zapper and it was fun, and I would get together with my friend and we would play it forever and we loved it. But you would think the first game that they could actually utilize the Wiimote in the actual older retro game would be this game. You would think that would be an obvious thing to do. Because it's a zapper game, and it's a Wiimote. It's like the perfect combination. But no, there is absolutely no Wiimote control whatsoever. Except you have to use the D-pad the entire time.
Aww.
To play a zapper game. That makes no sense. I really don't understand at all why they would even release this game if they weren't going to implement zapper support.
You can get better shit than that using the Opera browser for free.
Yeah, it's true actually. It's totally true. I really don't understand it, and it controls horribly with the D-pad because it's a slow-moving cursor. So imagine playing a zapper game. It's kind of slow.
Game where you can't play with the zapper is terrible. Like because you have to move that giant square around with the D-pad.
Yeah, it's really, really. I really can't even put into words how bad this Virtual Console release is. It's probably the worst one yet. I might have to say, it's really horrible.
Does it go downhill from there?
Well, no, the good news is the second one's a little bit better, but no, I'm just, because the game's not that great to begin with, but then to not have zapper support and have to play with a slow-moving D-pad trigger, it's just like, there really is no reason to spend your $5. But the second game is for the Genesis, and it has one of the greatest names ever. It's called Columns 3, Revenge of the Columns.
Column 3. Column with a vengeance.
Saying it out loud is like a million times funnier.
Column harder.
Because all it is a basic puzzle game. You literally match 3, jewels or colored jewels.
Columns.
And columns.
Some would say.
But the fact that they put Revenge of the Columns just really makes me laugh because, the game is just a basic puzzle game, so there really is no revenge taking to be had in the game. But it's kind of fun, but it's completely generic and not very exciting, so I would not recommend it by any means.
Oh my gosh.
It's the worst week ever. It really is. It literally is the worst week ever.
Wasn't last week the worst week ever?
No, last week was 1080 snowboarding. That was an okay week.
Okay,
that was an okay
because we
week.
did have a 0 out of 5 Dolphins.
We're about to have another 0 out of 5 Dolphins.
Oh, man.
Unamazing.
This is definitely unamazing. But I really am really depressed about this week. I feel like Nintendo really dropped the ball. Like, not only did they release 2 subpar games, but the whole zapper thing really made me angry because I'm like, I feel like this is a sign of things to come. Like, I feel like they're really not going to make any effort to try to implement any new features in some of the older retro games, and that kind of bums me out a little bit.
Well,
Bad week.
Oh, that sucks. All right.
Yeah.
Well, usually you go from a high note to a low note, but now I'm
sorry, everyone.
A low note to Toph, do I even need to ask? How's
I'm going to bring it up a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little.
You're like, I'm going to turn it up a notch.
Just maybe a notch.
All right.
This week's game is Poker Smash!
Oh, please say it does that.
Poker, it should. It would have gotten a higher score if it did.
I heard it wasn't that bad, though. Is it
It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, people have been
it's kind of
recommending
cool.
that I play it. But
I didn't think I was going to like it, but it's actually kind of cool. It's a puzzle game, and it's, you have your standard match 3 pieces in a row, whatever, to clear them from the screen. But the puzzle pieces, the blocks are cards, or playing cards, and not only can you match 3 or more in a row, but you can do like a royal flush or full house, and so it frees you up. You have a little bit more. You have more options as far as the way that you clear the pieces.
Oh, I see. I thought it was just some sort of I haven't even touched my Xbox all week.
Yeah, well, I got the press release and I was like, oh, what the fuck is this? Another goddamn.
Well, I thought
poker
by
game.
the name, I thought it was just another random poker game. I didn't think it had anything to do with it.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what I
but
thought.
But it's a puzzle game, but the pieces are playing cards, and
that's actually really clever. I have to be honest.
And you actually, it's actually pretty fucking cool. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I downloaded the demo and played it, and it's actually pretty cool.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of it, but I mean, if you like poker, or people like I'm not into cards. I never really got into poker or any of that kind of shit. But
more of a black.
There are plenty of bros out there, I'm sure, that would, the
who are all listening to the Valentine's
football
episode.
watching set, who I'm sure are listening to the Valentine episode, who really enjoy poker, who would probably get a kick out of it. It's really cool. It's kind of a neat idea, I guess, for a puzzle game.
When you're waiting for your bro to come out of the bathroom, stop finger banging that chick, so you can play another round of Halo 3. You can play some Poker Smash. You know, it's not making
Yeah, that's the way it works.
The term finger bang is one of the most repulsive terms.
Yeah, it's probably the least sexy term outside of Gorilla
Can you
Mask.
imagine walking up to a girl and just like trying to be like sweet and being like, "You guys want to go back? Do you want to go back and finger bang later?"
I think if you did it, then you might the innocence in your tone might actually. Oh, maybe that's not such a bad idea. Maybe I should let him finger bang me. Maybe
You might get away with that.
Yeah. Chad Concelmo's the only one that can get away with that. You're
I
the
will
only
do
one
it
that
for
probably
us,
get away with
GDC.
saying that. Who
I'm
isn't
gonna go-
13 years old. That's the
I'm
thing.
going to approach 100 women between tonight and next week, and I will get back to you and tell you how many agreed to come back
Yeah,
to my
you're gonna be
apartment.
back next week and be like, "Hey, Chad, how's it going?" Like, "Oh, I couldn't play the virtual console because my fingers
Because
are
I had
so
so much
tired."
poontang.
I know. They're so worn. I sprained all my fingers from banging.
Oh God!
Awesome.
Let's hope that this is not the first episode my mother decides to listen to.
Yeah, she'll be like, "That's my Chad. Always the ladies, man."
That's him, always finger banging the ladies. That's what he likes to do, my chatty.
Okay,
Taught my
okay.
Chad
This is
well. Brought him up.
This is Concelmo, the sweet woman. She would never say that.
Oh man. Was there anything else for Xbox Live Arcade this week?
No, just Poker Smash finger banging challenge.
Awesome.
2000.
Yaris finger banging.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yaris is getting finger banged
Yeah.
by the Hulk.
In prison. Alright. Well, cool. Alright, we'll stop talking
The
about
best
Chad,
podcast we've ever done.
and we'll hit the break. Bang! Alright, listeners, here's a Valentine's Day treat. It's a Valentine's song sung by Chad Concelmo, which I believe he wrote himself. So, Chad, take it away.
Will you be my Valentine? If you will, you'll surely know how happy I will be. Sugar, spice, and all things nice, that's what you mean to me. Will you be my Valentine?
The answers are Sirius Black from Harry Potter, The Trial by Franz Kafka, and Windows XP Professional.
Did
Thank
you
you for
really
that.
write that? And welcome back. Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun. Happy Monday. This is when you're listening to it. We're recording this on Sunday, but still, our sentiments are always true. It's episode 36, the Valentine's Day show. And Chad came up earlier with a great idea this week about video game couples. So
Yes.
the comments exploded today. I think 112 is the last time I checked. So if you're 113, I'm sorry, we missed it.
You don't matter. We're not listening
Yeah,
to
It
you.
could have been the most. It could have been the most profound comment in the history
I
of
know.
blog posts.
It would have won every comment contest we've ever had.
It could have been
forever.
Jesus. Jesus could have put his first comment in a blog ever.
It was a link to the
And we
Beats
would
of
have
Rage
missed it.
mod.
Oh, actually, yeah.
Okay.
Mentioning that, one of our listeners, and the name escapes me at the moment, in last week's show comments had mentioned that.
Well, find his name and give him a shout out. It'll be a little encouragement.
I will. He was saying that he was going to. He's like, it will take me forever, and I have to learn how to do it. But I want to make that Beats of Rage RetroforceGO mod. And he was like, and then he felt somewhat like, oh, well, if other people are doing it, it's gonna take a while. And I
No,
know.
don't feel like that. No
No.
one else is doing it.
Yes, please do it, please.
Dear
You
God.
have a lot of really great games coming to you if you can
Yeah.
accomplish such a thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of shitty ones too, but they weigh each other out. They even out.
Yeah.
Here's how it goes. It's the contest is you go and you get the Beats of Rage game, and then you download the little moddable part and you make one themed for us, RetroforceGO, and you will win a copy of every game that Reverend Anthony has ever covered in his Games That Time
Well,
Forgot.
it has to be good. It's not just you make it and then I give the shit to you. It's got to be like
Yeah.
really awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's
totally.
plenty of awesome that has to happen.
Yeah, you can't just have like text over faces that says, Chad.
Yeah,
This
no,
one's
like
Dyson. This
Photoshopping.
one is Chad.
This one is like an
That would be
arrow.
awesome.
Don't just send us a copy of Beats of Rage. Like, okay, the guy in red is Dyson.
The file renamed to RetroforceGO Fighter.
Yeah. His name's Scott. His name's Scotty G. So Scotty, don't give up hope. In fact, you're our only hope so far.
Yeah.
You are our only hope,
I know.
Obi-Wan.
So go with that. And other than that, yeah, let's get the show on the road. So, I'm exhausted. I've been working like a million hours this week. So, someone else.
Well, I can start off.
There you go. That's what I was looking for.
I guess I can just tell people kind of how this came about. Like last year on another blog, boo, anything that's not Destructoid, boo. I did a post on like the 10 best romantic video game couples and the 10 best platonic video game couples. And I don't know what made me think about it recently, but I just thought it'd be a good idea for a podcast. So there's a lot on here. There's 20 to be exact. So I guess we can maybe just go through some and then just talk about them. Does that sound like a good idea?
You guys?
Let's do it.
Woo!
Should I do all just retro ones, or should we? No, we should do everything. It's more fun, I guess.
Well, let's just center on the retro, but go for it, Chad. Everyone loves the Chad lists.
Well, for the top 10 romantic
That was
couples.
like the most fakest laugh ever.
It smacked his self-congratulation. I could imagine just Chad just shrugging and raising his shoulders, eyebrows raised, going.
I didn't know what to
You're
say.
just like, anyway.
I'm sorry, that was horrible. I didn't know what to say. I felt uncomfortable.
No, I meant everyone really does love your list, so please.
For the top 10 romantic couples, number 10 I had, and this is not a very good one, but I had CJ and Denise from the Grand Theft Auto games. And the only reason I had that one is because their relationship was so awesome. Because all they did was go kill people and then go out to eat. That's it.
Nice.
And it made me laugh. But that's not a very good one, so we can skip that one. But one that I really liked, and it's not a retro game, but I know Anthony will appreciate this one. I think Anthony mentioned loving this game, but have you ever played Psychonauts?
I have.
Oh, yeah.
And I have Raz and Lily on here, and I thought they had a great, great relationship.
I don't actually remember that at all.
Raz is the main character, and Lily is like the girl he meets at camp, and that game is just so effing hilarious, and some of their like dialogue together is so clever. So I just thought there was really memorable, their relationship.
Oh, before you go any further, I need to promise that this is the one RetroforceGO podcast I'm going to guest on that I will never, not once, mention that game that I always mention. Ever, even though this is the topic where I should mention it more often than not.
Wait, you're not going to mention it? Well, I'm going to mention it.
If you bring it up,
It's
I will
on
just
the list.
go and nod and yeah, but I'm not going to say the names of any of the characters or the name of the series because I'm tired of doing it accidentally every single time I come on.
All right.
Oh, I'm totally doing it, so just be prepared.
I'll just go, yep, right. I'll just do that.
This will be my opportunity to mention Half-Life 2 as much as humanly possible. And since I've never actually played the game, I'm just gonna make shit up. So that
You
you're
have a
gonna have to sit
360
there.
because I can
and just
bring
be
it
like,
over during PC to make you
You
play.
have to play that game. It's so amazing.
Yeah, bring it.
You have a 360?
Yeah, I have a 360.
Okay, I'll buy you the Orange Box or something and bring it over.
Oh,
Yes.
Nice.
Or maybe I'll
Number
buy
8.
you.
awesome. Yeah.
Number 8, out of all the Final Fantasy couples, you guys can argue with me on this one, but out of all the Final Fantasy couples, my favorite one is Cecil and Rosa from Final Fantasy 2. Do you guys remember them?
I never.
See, I know Anthony doesn't know that one very well.
Vaguely.
Yeah.
Rosa was the white mage, and Cecil was like, the Dark Knight who turned into the Paladin, and that was one of the few couples in Final Fantasy at the very beginning. Nowadays, it seems like everyone's in love in the damn Final Fantasy games.
Oh, I know. It's all,
Yeah.
Like they're all in love. It's
Fantasy
like one
is
big
just
giant
fun.
orgy. But the early ones, there wasn't a lot of like romantic couples, and I thought that theirs was awesome. So that made me happy. And number 7, and actually, it was actually cool reading the comments because there was so many ones that I had put in my list from last year, and that made me happy that people totally were on the same wavelength. And this one I saw a couple times from King's Quest VI. I know, Dyson, you have a huge question mark over your head right now.
Yeah. What?
But
Yeah, me
Alexander and Cosima. Anthony, do you ever play King's Quest VI?
I have not played a single King's Quest game. Those are too hard for me. I'm retarded.
One of the reasons that Alexander is one of the main characters in the whole series, and he ends up going on this quest to find this woman named Cosima on the land of the Green Isles. But one of the cool things about this storyline that is so random is she's locked up in this tower, and then at the very end of the game, you have to get up to the tower, obviously, to get her and rescue her. But one of the means you can do. No, on this specific game, sorry. Oh. And at the very end, you have to, get up there. And one of the means to do that is to dress in drag. But the strange thing is the King's Quest games are kind of serious. Like, I mean, there's some funny parts, but it's kind of a serious fairy tale story, and like, you really can like dress as a woman, and then you get admitted into the castle because they think you're like a maid or something, and then you just make your way up to her. It's very strange, but because of that, it's pretty memorable. I guess it's just a really weird scene. Like,
It's like
Did they have like a romantic scene while he's
it's
dressed
like
as
a
a chick?
cross-dressing like siphon filter or whatever, Splinter Cell, where you can, like sneak in.
yeah, it's really weird. But the good news is you don't
tranny stealth genre up
It's
on the
the
way.
medieval version of the cardboard box for Metal Gear Solid.
Actually, that was a perfect segue. Speaking of Metal Gear Solid, number 6 is Solid Snake and Meryl. Meryl was awesome.
And we didn't even know until, what was it, like 6 months ago when that trailer for MGS4 came out, whether she was dead or not. Whether that was part of the storyline.
Yeah. I actually thought that was really cool that she's going to be in the 4th one. And I thought she's one of my favorite girl characters in all those games, and I'm really happy she's coming back.
Yeah, she was pretty cool. She towed that line between irritating cliche Lara Croft badass and sort of like a legitimate young girl. So she was like pouty and irritating, but she was sort of still her own character.
Yeah, that's a really good point because you're right. There was a lot of those characters during those PlayStation years when there was all those too cool for school girls that were like that wore tank tops and were really badass.
Yeah.
And she was the first one, you're right,
that
had actually kind of like a character besides being just a badass.
And I think she's the only character, maybe in video game history, who ever had to be recognized solely by the way she wags her ass when she walks.
Yeah. I love that scene in that game was when you watch her like a slow motion shot of her ass shaking, and then you actually utilize that later when you're hiding in the cardboard box. I was like, that is so awesome! What a great gameplay mechanic.
I think I've been missing out on these Metal Gear games, huh?
Yeah,
I
sounds
haven't
like
played
it.
the Metal. Jeez, I have to introduce you to everything.
When you first meet her, she kicks ass, and then she runs away, and as she's running away, Snake like looks at her ass, and it does a slow motion shot of her ass like jiggling in kind of like a special way. And then later in the game, when she's disguised as one of the soldiers, there's all these soldiers patrolling, and you have to find out which one's her so you can get her. The only way you can find out it's her is because the way that the soldier's ass moves. So you have to kind of like watch all the asses, and then when hers
It's
comes
really
by,
weird. It's like a stealth sequence where you not only have to sneak up from behind somebody, but go into first person and then stare at their ass for a while. So if somebody comes in the room while you're doing that, they're like, "What the fuck are you playing?" And you can't
So
really explain
awesome.
it within a sentence. You just have to be like, "Fuck, it doesn't matter. Just trust me."
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid is such a rad game. But number 5, I feel bad. There's a bunch of games here that you guys haven't played, but we're about to get to a bunch of retro ones. Don't worry.
All right.
The platonic section is like all retro stuff, so be prepared. Number
It was
5
not
is
sex back then.
Manny and Mercedes from Grim Fandango.
Oh yes,
Oh yes, good. Someone played that. Yes.
of course.
That's one of my favorite games ever. Yeah, and their relationship is so great. And there was actually a bunch of references to these people in the comments, which made me really, really happy.
Yeah. They have
and
that sort of Sam Spade, Ingrid Bergman relationship, that noir relationship where he doesn't want to admit that he feels the way he does about her.
Where he
It
smacks
totally
her.
reminds me of that. He doesn't smack her.
He doesn't backhand her at the end of the game, and that's the happy ending.
I know.
Although I think it
love
should have
the
been
40s.
now that I think about it.
I think someone might have mentioned in the comments, but there's that great line, and I don't know exactly, so I'm totally gonna get this wrong. So don't yell at me. But there's a line where they say something about how like he doesn't want to live for her, but she's his
Ticket to Eternity.
Yeah, something like that. It's such a great. Oh, it's so good, so good. Anyway, my number. Hold on. I just lost my list. My number 4 is Eco and Yorda from.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
That was
were
like one of the first
awesome.
comments.
Oh, really? I didn't even see that one on there.
Yeah. We had another one of those like imminent death comments where like, if you don't mention it, I'll kill babies or something. Like that.
It's nice to have that kind of a fan base.
I know, huh? It's like the
No,
Charles
I have a
Manson
question for
fan
you guys
base.
who have played it. Because
Well, this
you
is.
know,
So go
What's the
ahead. Sorry.
question?
okay, you know that moment at the right before the third act begins, right before that moment where it's just you and you're going against the queen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't played it, but you're supposed to do that thing where you show your affection for her in order to make the game keep going as the bridge is separating.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Did you do that instinctively the first time?
Did what?
You mean the first time, as in when you first
like when the bridge first starts to I was just gonna fucking say it. When the bridge first starts to separate, did you just immediately and instinctively? Because I think the game or the Famitsu Ueda was under the impression that anybody playing that game would have loved yours so much by the time they got to that point that they would just instinctively just jump back to her rather than continue.
Oh yes, I totally did. That's a really good point.
I totally did too.
I jumped for her immediately. Yeah.
I think I'm the only person on Earth who was just like, "Fuck it, you jump." I just waited on the other side and was like, "What are you waiting for? I don't care. This bridge is going to the. I'm out of here, bitch." I liked her. I liked her a lot, but I wasn't like fucking going to jump back to get her. It's like, "Fuck you." Got your ass all the way out of here.
That is seriously awesome. Well, this one was kind of like.
Why don't you just heal your ankle?
When I made this list a year ago, this one kind of like caused a controversy on the blog I used to do because I put it on the romantic list and I had the platonic list, and some people said that they couldn't really tell if they were a romantic couple by any means, but I don't know, there was something about them. I just felt the vibe that they like ended up getting together after that. But maybe that's just me.
No, it was I played Eco and Eco was the third party and Yorda and I had the romantic relationship.
She
was mine. She was mine. Fuck you, horn boy.
She was really sexy, and it was weird because she was kind of a little bit annoying at some points, but she was really like kind of mysterious, and it was really attractive.
I got the cute, innocent vibe off her a lot, just like the way that she sits down on the little save couch, or
totally.
When she's running away and she sprains her ankle, she'll fall really sadly every time if you run too fast and stuff. And that secret ending, if you find the watermelons on the beach and then you're just eating them as the credits roll, it's adorable.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. Just look for it on YouTube. It's really, really cute.
Cool. Number 3.
Do you have any retro games in there?
Yes, this is the ultimate retro game. The ultimate retro game. Number 3 is Pac-Man and Ms. Pac-Man.
All right.
And I know that one sounds ridiculous, but I mean,
hey, Act 3. Come on, man.
I'm saying, like that scene where they they chase each other and then they bonk heads and then their little heart. Come on, it doesn't get any better than that. That's just awesome. It would have been awesome if, like, when the guy that created Pac-Man and Ms. Pac-Man decided instead of having them be like romantic couple, if he just wanted Ms. Pac-Man and Pac-Man to hate each other, that would have been awesome.
You could have a co-op, or you could have a deathmatch mode.
You have verse mode where you have to try to eat the other player.
That's only if they've been married for a long time.
Yeah, eventually. They probably hate each other now.
Yeah, they hate each other now. I remember
Pack divorce.
That would have been a pack divorce.
Day in, day out. All I get from you is waka 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 waka.
And he's like, Pac-Man's like, all you want to do is eat. You're the size of a house. How could you eat pellets
You're
all
addicted
day?
to Power Pellets, Jim.
You had to be Ms. You couldn't be Mrs. Pac-Man. What's up with that? You don't love me enough to be Mrs. Pac-Man? What the hell?
You don't wear your ring, you cunt.
Happy Valentine's
I never thought about
Day,
that,
everybody.
Ms. You're right. At least she kept his last name. That's good.
Yeah, begrudgingly.
She's like Ms.
Yeah.
Miss Smith Pac-Man.
She's not Pac-Woman, yeah.
With a Y. All right, what's the number 1 on there?
Well, there's number 2 first.
Oh.
That would that comes before 3.
So that's how the number system works.
Yeah, I know.
This one is another one that caused a little controversy because some people don't think that these people are romantic, but number 2 is Link and Zelda. I think
they fucking are.
I agree, but all these people were like, no, they're just, they just have
the
like
entire. I mean, we were talking about
the
the show, but the entire TV show is predicated upon the fact that Link wants to fuck her, and she says no, and he goes, "Excuse me."
Well, see, I think the reason I got so mad when they announced Wind Waker as being like the kind of cartoony thing is because at the end of Ocarina, and Majora's a side story, but at the end of Ocarina, it was like you'd finally been playing Zelda long enough for them to be in the teenage years, kind of like later teens, and you're like, oh wow, they're finally growing up, and it's like, okay, now like you see this like connection between them as their like older selves, and it's like, oh wow, we could have totally had a relationship and fell in love, but you have to go back in time as to be a child again, and it's just like such a burn. And then when you're like, oh man,
I wanted to see fucking.
Yeah,
but they were more or less adults in Twilight Princess, and he still didn't get any.
Yeah, well, that's
there's always
that game
there's
sucked.
always shit
I
going
don't
on.
care.
Yeah.
I always assume that he's banging her 3 seconds after the end credits finished.
That's what happens in all these games.
It's like in Super Mario
Triforce of
64 where you
power.
finally see the cake, and it's like, hey, here's your cake, Mario, and then, you assume that they're fucking off screen.
Well, that's another perfect segue, Anthony, because my number 1 is Mario and Peach.
Hey! Fuck Mario.
They totally have had sex multiple times. I totally agree with you.
I don't know, she seems pretty frigid.
She's leading him along. She's totally
let's not get started about my love for Peach and your guys' hatred of Peach because I'll get angry. But
Dude, she's banging Bowser.
no way.
Where do you think the Koopa Kids came
Totally.
from? She doesn't reproduce asexually.
The Koopa Kids?
I thought the Koopa Kids were Magic Koopas, were Kamex kids, that female witch that rides on the broom.
That's a male.
That's what I always thought.
No, buddy.
That's a guy?
Buddy. Chad, we got
Yeah.
to to you.
Sure.
Sorry.
Oh my god, my world is falling apart.
I know. We're gonna have to have a little sit down on the couch.
Considering all the females in the Mario universe tend to have lipstick and like really big bows, I assume K-Mech's a guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's true. For some reason, I've always thought it was a girl.
It's called denial.
But really, this is my world's falling apart. I've looked at all these games as him having this female underlane, and wow, that's pretty crazy. I'm gonna go sob after this. I don't know why.
All you need to know about Peach is that she banged him a lot and then left him to raise the kids on his own. He gets really angry, wants to invade the Mushroom Kingdom, and then she gets
That's
all
why
he
keeps coming back and kidnapping her. He's like, "Bitch, come home. You got kids."
Yeah.
You know, it's like.
But do you really genuinely? All jokes aside, did you guys really genuinely think that there is a romantic thing between Mario and Peach?
No.
I mean, do you think
Not
that
after Super Mario Brothers 1?
Do you think that Mario is going for her because he likes her, or do you think he's going for her just this obligation?
Yeah, but it's kind of like
Yeah,
the
but
joke,
it's totally
what's the difference
unrequited.
between like a bitch and a whore.
Bitch fucks anybody but you.
Yeah. That's pretty much how I see Peach.
That's awesome. I hate you guys.
Ladder theory on RetroforceGO.
Peach is a sweet angel.
Oh, you just keep believing.
Rosalina, better.
Rosalina, yes, for the win.
Yeah.
Whee!
But I figured now, this was obviously made a year ago, so this is a perfect time. You guys have, obviously there's a million more romantic couples that you guys probably are thinking of that aren't these 10. What are some other ones that you guys have on the top of your tongue?
I know everybody likes to talk about the Chell and the fucking weighted companion cube.
What? What?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A
It
romantic?
doesn't do it for me,
good
but I like to.
Like a chick in a square?
Yeah.
The player in the cube, you get when I get you the orange box, you'll sort of
I
understand.
played Portal.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
You beat it?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
then you and I are on the same
didn't
page. I can see why people feel that way toward it, but I don't personally, I guess.
I can't. No, I'm not even accepting that. Like, how can you have romantic feelings towards a box? That's just fucking weird.
Well, it's just the fact that, the game kind of tries to trick you into thinking that, this thing means something to you, even though it obviously is just a box. That's the whole point, I guess.
All right. Well, whatever.
Rule 34.
Stick to retro. All right. All right. I'm gonna go with the Final Fantasy 3 then. I've been playing through it and I've got
There's so many good ones in there.
Yeah, I just you were mentioning Final Fantasy 2 and I was like, oh, they didn't really have a lot of romantic connotation at the time, and I was like, well, in 3, which for you morons is 6 and whatever. I got a.
Who was your favorite couple out of all those? Because there's a lot of them.
Locke and Celis.
Oh no! See, that's close second. The best one in my mind is Locke and Rachel.
Oh,
the girl
he
who
died.
is before Celis. I know, but their relationship before she dies is so tragic and so good. It was so awesome. But you're right. Locke and Celis is awesome.
Yeah, because
As
she's all hates herself, and then he he basically was like.
Oh, that is true.
He teaches her how to love again, Chad. God damn it. He's like Han Solo. He's like the rapscallion thief.
Locke and Celis was great. Every scene they had together was always so nice and so cute. And and you're right, she did hate herself, and he was always so nice to her, and then she totally became so happy with him.
Speaking of Final Fantasy, we might as well just get this out of the way. Aeris and
Cloud and Tifa?
Yeah,
Not Aeris and Cloud, Cloud and Tifa.
Yeah.
Cloud and Tifa, I agree. I think that is so much
what makes
better.
you guys like Tifa more than Aeris?
Because Tifa actually loved Cloud, and Aeris was a. I promised myself.
Don't say it. Don't say it. People are gonna hate you.
I promised myself I wouldn't say it.
A bitch?
A whore?
A whore?
Aeris was a dirty whore.
All right. Well,
I don't want your hate mail.
I-
I'm not interested in what you think of what I just said. I just said it. There you have it.
I like Aeris, but I can sort of see where you're coming from, because it seemed like...
She only liked Cloud because he reminded her of Zack.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Well,
And it seemed like when they were first
And
characterizing
Cloud
her
was a
smart,
fucking
Zack?
idiot. And then, at the end, when Tifa was like, "Oh, it's gonna be okay," and then Cloud's all, we can start a life together, and Cloud's all, "Oh, well, I think I can still find Aeris." And fuck you, you idiot. like
Tifa is so cute
Tifa was
too.
crazy about him.
And she was so cute, and like she was a good fighter, and she was just so awesome. Oh, she was great.
Also,
thing is, like, I think
Eris
so many
was
people-
Zack's girl, and he was all like, like even after they were both dead, like in Advent Children at the end, Eris is like comes back to see Cloud. And
Okay, all right. Listen, Final Fantasy VII is the one where I was just like, I got halfway through, and I didn't even get to the scene where Eris dies. So I was just like, this game bores me. No, I never. I got to a point. Maybe she did die. I don't remember. But it was like the.
You would have remembered.
No, I know.
You'd remember if you'd gotten to that.
I specifically remember there was a playing the game, and I just got to a point in the game where I just set the controller down, and I was like, I don't really want to play this anymore. And that's kind of the impact that the story had on me, which is none. I know everyone's like, oh my god, it was blah blah blah. I think Final Fantasy III is the best out of all of them, so deal with that. And if you're going to talk about like her dying, I'm going to tell you to play Phantasy Star 2. It's a tired mechanic. People have used it before, but I looked up like the whole story once because everyone keeps talking about this game. It's like this big important game in Final Fantasy. So I just read the story on like Wikipedia or something, and I didn't even realize that the only reason that those two were romantically involved is because Cloud was like part Zack and she used to date Zack. Like and then because I didn't realize that he was like part Zack and he has the memories from him, so that's why he thinks he loves her. And once I read all that, I'm like, that's just weird. And I'm gonna have to like throw down my like 100% votes for Tifa because she was fucking badass, especially in Advent Children.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome.
I think the gamer sort of tendency to really like Eris more than she deserves just comes from the fact that, like, from a purely gameplay perspective, when Eris gets killed, she's like the only healer in your party, or she's the main healer in your party.
Yeah, it really fucks the game up when she dies.
You're totally used to just having her to fall back on. All of a sudden,
That is true.
And it's like, oh fuck!
She had those awesome spells, like her overdrives or her limit breaks would just like heal the entire party at all.
Yeah, everything, like every
for
status
free.
ailment, like it was awesome.
Such a low MP cost, and it just almost breaks it when she dies. You're like, what the fuck?
And there's all that like creepy little stuff you can find on the disc suggesting you may have been able to resurrect her later because she can still get her ultimate limit break and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, you can't bring her back, can you?
No.
Yeah, that's why she fails. Yeah.
People have found like
Live
weird
chick
little
over
things
the
on the
dead
disc
chick.
suggesting alternate quests or something where you go and resurrect her ghost and.
Can you imagine though if someone discovered that now, like there'd be like fanboy like orgasm.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm
it's
sure
sort
people
of
have poured over the code and checked.
Yeah.
Well,
Anthony, I was going to actually ask you, like, this isn't a retro game, but I remember you didn't really care for the game very much. I remember you gave it a pretty low score. But the game that came out last year, The Darkness,
yeah,
wasn't there a pretty cool moment in that, though? I haven't played it, where, like, you and your girl kind of, like, snuggle on the
you
couch
have
and
to
watch
sit
TV.
Yeah,
on
that's
your
my favorite
couch
part of the entire
forever.
game. It's just where you're sitting down with her and just spending time with your girlfriend. I thought that was really sweet.
There's
That's
an
kind of
achievement
a
for
cool
it, too.
concept.
It was, it's like the romantic or something.
Yeah, you just sit down and watch like To Kill a Mockingbird with her or something for a little while, and then eventually she falls asleep and you can leave. Or you can be a dick and do it immediately. I thought that was probably the best part of the game, honestly.
Yeah, that was a really cool concept, I thought.
Yeah.
Well, before we get to the platonic stuff, like, do you guys think that romantic, like just romance in general, has been portrayed well in video games, or do you think it's kind of something that's kind of a throwaway thing? Like, do you think they've ever done it really well, like a really cool game that's like kind of take it to the next level?
well, like,
Sometimes.
with storyline.
Yeah, I'm not just with the story, but I guess that's my point. Like, the thing with The Darkness I thought was cool because it wasn't just in the story. Like, it was actually, like, kind of a neat thing that kind of connected your character to what you're choosing to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as you play, you can decide, oh, I'm going to be romantic, and I'm going to spend all this time with this girl, or I can just leave. And, like, has a game ever kind of given you the choice to be romantic rather than just put it in the story? I guess that's my question.
Actually, usually not. I mean, this is, obviously from only the experience of only the games I've played because I haven't played them all. But I've always found that, like, in most games where you've got, like, the male and the female roles, it's usually kind of like the semi-anti-hero man role, where he'll be like, you could tell that there's a romantic connection between the female and the male, but it's more of a sort of like that kind of like sidekicky, like, he's like the sort of Han Solo-esque character where he wouldn't really admit to like being romantic or anything, so the game doesn't really allow it because no one wants to play a video game and have like, be all like, oh, I'm all sweet and stuff. You want to, play the thing where it's like the girl's like chasing after you, but yet you're still chasing after the treasure. So it's a lot of games kind of still build upon that premise. Like even in like Drake's Fortune or Uncharted, it's just like even from the first 5 minutes, like he's with his chick, but he's like still being like all cocky and shit. So it's kind of like romanticism per se, unless it's in a like. It seems to be like an RPG usually comes forward, but not in any type of other game.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are two schools of thought when it comes to these sorts of romances. There's what you were saying, Dyson, like the game I won't mention and Shadow of the Colossus both have this sort of thing where there's like between Wander and his, I'm not even calling him Wander, the character and his horse Aggro in Shadow of the Colossus. There's that sort of, you spend enough time with him gameplay wise, and that the chick in the game that I won't mention. You spend enough time with the gameplay wise, you begin to care about them, and then when something happens to them or when they do something in regards to the story, once you spent all that time with them, it suddenly pays off in this narrative sort of just moment that really makes you feel something for that character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bestiality jokes aside, that is.
Like,
there's the Mass Effect stuff too.
I remember like jumping up off the couch and screaming at the TV when that happened in Shadow of the Colossus. I was so pissed off.
I know. That's actually on my second list, so we can talk about it when we get there. But that's one of my most heartbreaking moments ever. Is in that game. Ugh, yeah, it's awful.
That's such a great love story for a game because you don't just have the guy and his horse. You have the guy and the girl who doesn't.
You're fighting for the
entire time. Such an unconventional, weird love story.
No, the only game that ever broke my heart was Lunar, and if you've never played it, I highly suggest that you do, because
is that the one with Luna and Alex?
Yes, absolutely, positively, one of the best like stories I can't even begin to recommend it enough. Like anyone who's even just remotely get it attached to like Eris or anything like that and says like, oh, it's such a good love story, it's like, go play Lunar. Like the end of the game, and I do my best not to ruin it for you, but it basically comes down to a point where it's like you've been going after her the whole time. She's your childhood love, and it gets to the end of the game, and she's like eventually like kind of I don't want to give too much away. You go through this sort of like end sequence where it's like you think you're about to fight the boss, but you're not. You actually end up fighting her, but you can't kill her because she's the girl you love. But she's like fucked up, and she's trying to kill you. And you have to figure out how not to die without killing her. Like this huge like moral conflict, and it's just like heart wrenching.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just like such an amazing like kind of like story mechanic. And
do you remember? Do you remember all those role-playing mechanics they had like back in the day of the Lunar and Final Fantasy 2 and 3, where there would be bosses you would fight? They don't do this as much anymore. I hated when they used to do this because I never knew how to handle it. But there would be certain bosses where the only way you could beat them would be to not fight them. You know what I mean? Like you'd have to just stay. You just have to sit on the screen and let them fight you until it got to a point where the game would just take over and say like, "Oh, thank you for not attacking me. You win."
Oh,
but
there
was never any indication about whether to do that, and it was always so frustrating because your inclination is to fight everything that you encounter. And I remember sometimes I would fight forever and die, and I would never know how to get past it, and then come to find out, oh, I wasn't supposed to do anything. Like
you're supposed to actually die.
Yeah, like
supposed to die exactly.
Emerald Weapon.
They do that in that?
No, Emerald Weapon from Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when you go into the battle, like, the fewer materia you have on you, like, the less damage she'll cause.
Oh.
Yeah, like
he causes damage based on the number of materia you have equipped. So, like, you go in ready for this epic fight, and if you're, like, heavily prepared, you're going to get your ass kicked. But if you go in with almost nothing, then you'll do just fine.
Yeah, there's one like that kind of in Final Fantasy IX. There's a sort of some upside down castle or whatever where everything's opposite. So if you have the original weapons that you started with, because they're the weakest weapons in the game, they become the strongest weapons in this castle, and vice versa. So you go in and you're like totally pimped out with all your armor and weapons, and it's like you start the guy and it's like 1. But if you pull out like the rusty knife you started with, and no one does, by that point in the game you've sold all the.
That's the
crap.
thing, I know.
Yeah, you've sold all this crap, and you're just like. I actually looked it up in a book. I was like, how the fuck do I beat this guy? And it was just like, oh, use the weapon that you started with, and equip that.
That's such a dirty fucking trick.
It is a dirty trick.
It is. Nobody hangs on to that shit.
Everyone sells
That's the first thing you do. You sell that stuff because you start out with no money and you're looking for something better.
It's almost like they put that shit in the game just to sell more walkthroughs.
Exactly. One thing I thought was cool, like, when it comes to romance and stuff, like when I was playing Final Fantasy 3, and I thought this is a good like hint of like what could happen in a video game. Like, there's a point where you know how like in the middle of the game, there's like the world gets destroyed, and then you wake up like months and months later, and you play as Celes, and then you have to go find all your party, and they've all kind of like lived these crazy lives. So it kind of jumps to the future. It's really when you finally reunite with Terra, the technical quote unquote main character. She has kind of become a mother to all these kids who have been orphaned because all their parents died, and there's these one older kids who I think you actually meet earlier in the game. They were kind of childhood sweethearts, and at this point in the game, she's pregnant with this guy's baby, and Terra's trying to protect them so she can have the baby in this horrible world of ruin. And I always thought it'd be cool if in a role-playing game, your character, actually can get married, or your character can get pregnant and actually have a child eventually.
You should play, Phantasy Star 3: Generations of Doom.
Oh, that happened. See, I was actually going to say this probably has happened in a bunch of retro RPGs, and I might totally be talking out of my ass right now, but I obviously haven't played them yet. But I thought that would be really cool if they kind of take the concept of romance and really apply it to like what happens to your character in the game. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, because when you do that in real life, the game ends.
Jaded motherfuckers are we.
Valentine's Day is one of those
Didn't
holidays.
mean to break the show, gentlemen. Carry on.
Valentine's Day is one of those holidays people either love or they absolutely despise.
Who loves Valentine's Day? Fuck those guys.
That's true. Nobody really loves it.
Yeah, that's stupid. I'll tell you who loves it. Hallmark.
Yeah.
And Walk and Fuss and Hershey's.
That's true. Yeah, damn it.
And 1-800-Flowers.
Well, for the people that hate Valentine's Day, this is what
These
the
are the
second
people who are
list
listening to this podcast.
Yes, and all of us.
Yeah.
There is another list, the top 10 platonic video game couples. Obviously the couples that, have no interest in pumping.
Do we have any retro ones on this?
Yeah, I'll just do the retro ones.
Okay.
Well, of course I have Wander and Aggro on there, but we already talked about that, so. But you'll appreciate this one, Dyson. Samus and the baby Metroid from Super Metroid.
Aww.
That's cute.
Yeah, because they have like a really good relationship. And obviously, I mentioned it before, I'm not going to ruin the ending, but obviously the baby Metroid plays a huge role in what happens to Samus.
Sort of a maternal thing, almost.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I'm like, that's more of like, sort of play the game.
Yeah. But actually, that's a good question. What does platonic really entail? Like, does that mean
you just want to fuck each other?
Yeah.
So could it be like a motherly daughter thing too? Is that platonic technically? I don't really know what
I don't know.
the actual definition
I have platonic love for my dog. I don't want to fuck my dog.
Well, that's
Hopefully
thank
not.
God, that's good news.
It's a relief
Yeah.
for everybody in the room, especially my dog.
Well, no, it's like platonic is like when you meet someone who's really, really cool and you don't want to have sex with them, then that's a friend.
I don't think I've ever experienced that in my life. I've met somebody really, really cool and not want to have sex with them.
All right, back to the list.
This is another pretty retro one. Link and Navi. Hey!
Listen!
Dude,
that is like a real relationship right there.
Yeah, they're
totally
de facto
wanted
married.
his cock.
Yeah, that's like the Twinkerbell conundrum there.
Yeah.
Where
She gets a little jealous
she's
of
like an
everything.
inch high, but she's still jealous of Wendy.
You think? Wait, whoa! You think Navi had romantic feelings for Link? Really?
Yeah, totally.
Hi.
You don't bother somebody that much unless you really, really want to bone them and you have no social graces.
Yeah, think about it.
Who do you think was a better character, Midna or Navi? Oh wait, why am I asking you? You guys hated
Navi.
Twilight.
Rev and I both did this without missing a beat. Navi.
As annoying as Navi was, she didn't have that bullshit like pretentiousness and condescension that Midna did.
Yeah.
I liked Navi. God damn
I like
it.
Navi too. I thought Navi
I have
was
to
cool.
say that every time we talk about her on the show.
Don Ferry.
What the fuck was that?
Go back
What
and
was
listen
that
to
the
the Zelda
Oh,
episode.
okay. That's right. Yeah, Chad, she wanted him. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
to say.
I guess you're right. I always thought that
You're
they
gonna
were
have to
friends.
change
You know,
lists.
That's my night. Yeah, they're gonna have to switch lists to the number
Or
one.
at least it's an unrequited love list.
Unrequited. Yeah, that's a whole separate category. Damn, that's like every video game character.
Yeah.
I have Billy Lee and Jimmy Lee on here from Double Dragon.
That's fair enough.
I don't know how platonic that is. No,
But the reason they're on there is just because they end up. You have to fight. This is one of my favorite moments, and I think I'm actually going to do a memory card on it eventually. But I love that scene. It was when you beat Double Dragon. You have to fight for Marion's love. I think that is just so awesome.
That's such a great twist.
I love that you have to fight each other at the game and like try to see who wins her. I think that's such an awesome ending. So that alone, they deserve to be on the list. Number 4, you guys are going to think this is ridiculous, but I just think it's so cute. Bub and Bob from Bubble Bobble. Because like I think that they're the cutest creations ever in video games, and the reason I put them on there is because you can play Bubble Bobble by yourself, but come on, how much more satisfying and more fun is it to play with your friend? How cute is that?
Especially when they're cute little dinosaurs.
They're the cutest dinosaurs ever. This isn't retro, but I'm mentioning it, so I don't care, Dyson, because it's amazing.
All right.
But one of my favorite games ever is Beyond Good and Evil, and Jade and Peach's relationship is so freaking good.
The pig?
So, yeah, her uncle.
Her uncle's a pig?
It's not her real uncle.
Oh,
he took her in when she was like, her parents died, and he took her in when she was little. Like, and he's one of my favorite video game characters ever. And their relationship is so cute. And like when he gets abducted and beaten, it like pulled at my like heartstrings. That was so sad because like.
And given the way that fucking guy looks, he should be the stupidest, most ridiculous character of all time.
Oh, like a Jar Jar Binks, totally.
Yeah, that's what he looks like, and he's such a legitimately compelling character. It's fucking.
Yeah, and he's smart. Like he's like, I completely agree with you. Like
he's almost representative of the way Beyond Good and Evil is as a whole, because it seems like this just like bargain bin title. This is a really big thing, and it's fucking deep as shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of my favorite games in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to retro.
Okay, yes.
Number 2 I had was Bill and Lance from Contra.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like, those guys are just
Well,
awesome.
They make me think of something I read about the Spartans a long time ago, which was that Spartans in 300 aren't gay. They're super heterosexual in that movie, but like I read something that said when they fought that they were fighting not just for their own honor and for the honor of Sparta, but to not disappoint the gay lover who was probably next to them, who was within their fighting battalion, and that was what drove them on and made them such good killers, is that they didn't want to look stupid in front of their boyfriends.
Wow. That makes that movie totally different.
I'll buy that. Yeah,
well,
that's what the one thing of irony in that film is, where the part where the Spartan leader, I forget his name right now,
Leonidas.
Leonidas, yeah, he was
the dude
talking
from all
about
the
the
gifts.
Nancy boys from like the Athenians.
Yeah, the Athenian boy lovers.
Yeah, the Athenian boy lovers. But it was like well known that like this. I mean, the Spartan warriors and stuff like that were raised like from very young age only to be around men. So you kind of extrapolate from that. And when they had to try to marry the soldiers off, they actually would cut the women's hair to like look like boys, so that the guys would be attracted to them. So, yeah, sense of irony. So back to retro.
That's awesome. Well, my number one is kind of boring, so we don't have to really talk about it. But I kind of went the generic route and just put Mario and Luigi. Boo.
Boo.
I mean, it's a good one. It's a good one because it's obviously true, but it's not much to talk about.
There's also that unrequited aspect to it too, because remember in Super Mario RPG where you can go to that little dreamland with all the stars and everybody's wishes, and
I love that
wish
scene.
I was a good plumber as my brother. And it's Luigi.
Yeah.
Aww.
I actually, to be honest with you, I actually feel really bad for Luigi, and I was actually thinking we should do a RetroforceGO just on Luigi, because I thought that would be really cool. Because Luigi never gets anything ever, and I feel so bad for him.
Yeah. He doesn't even get Daisy in the games like he does in the movie.
I know, you would think that they would, in the game, they would have like even in Luigi's Mansion, which actually that was a pretty fun game, but like he finally gets a game and he doesn't get to save a girl. Like he works with some crazy ass like professor, like crazy like
he
professor.
builds this awesome house. Like he builds the mansion.
And he saves Mario. Like he doesn't even go after a girl. Like he saves Mario. Like come on. So sad.
Luigi needs some loving.
Throw them in a bone, for God's sake.
Yeah, I know. We get him a stripper. Donkey show or something like that.
He's so awesome.
I was actually thinking that when you guys were talking about how everyone hates Valentine's Day, has there ever been any like exes, like ex video game characters, like video game characters that have dated but then aren't, and then they play together? Has that ever happened? That would be awesome.
That is a good question.
Oh my god, you just be bickering the whole time.
Well, I think, but just besides that, I think it could add like a really cool, like just twist on like the
like
normal,
you get to the end
two
boss,
characters.
and like you're trying to be all tough, and like the female character like says something like remotely, like insanely embarrassing about you in front of him, like to totally like demands you. Like, I'm gonna take you down. She's like, yeah, whatever, Mr. Impotent. And you're like, what? Fuck you, bitch.
If there ever have been any exes like that, they probably just fall into that stupid cliche of like, I don't like you, I don't like you, I like you, right before the credits, and they just make out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so annoying.
Which is not the way fucking life works.
No, not at all. Not at all.
We had 112 comments.
I know.
So
Well, the cool thing is, a lot of them that they mentioned were from my list, which is pretty cool. But there's a ton on here.
there's one, specifically one I want to point out. It was a franchise. He goes, I cast my vote for Rolf. Default name for your character if you choose not to name him. And Nia, it's N-E-I, I don't know. From Phantasy Star 2. They care deeply for each other, and he tried to always protect her, but it wasn't enough. Eris can kiss my ass. That's what I was saying. Yeah, because like, you know, you've got that female character that you really think is awesome. It was an important part of the party, and you think the story's based around, and then she dies. That happened in Phantasy Star 2, which came out many, many years before your precious Final Fantasy 7. So, and it actually happened almost exactly the same too. Like you're like at that one point, and she just gets owned, and you're like, oh, what the fuck? And you're like, you're just screwed. She's like one of the more powerful members in your party, and you're just like totally fucked, and you're like, what the hell did this game?
Yeah, that's
do to
hardcore
me?
when they do that. When games do that, that's hardcore. Especially like Eris, when you build them up, like, you know, you level grind, and you get them so powerful, and all of a sudden they're like, not so much.
Yeah,
Yeah, I always kept her in the party. She was all topped out. It was like one of my most
Me
powerful
too.
characters.
I mean, she was a healer, like Anthony said. I mean, like, she was in the party always. Like, oh, such a bummer.
You had no reason not to use her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Last week when that chick was asking for ideas for a Final Fantasy cake, I originally misread it and thought it said Final Fantasy 7, and I thought that she was going to make a cake shaped like Eris, and they were going to put like a sword through the cake, and then when they were ready to serve it, they would just cut off pieces and hand it out. That would be.
You
that
just
would
have
be
a
the
have a
coolest
guy
cake.
dressed as Sephiroth come out and cut the cake from them.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Dynamic entry, like drop 20 feet from the ceiling to come and cut the cake.
That's awesome.
Oh god, you know what? We should make an Eris pinata and fill it full of candy and give kids little sticks made out of swords.
Oh man, that would be fucking awesome.
That's a great idea.
That's a really good idea.
We'll do that for GDC at the party. That'll be
That's
awesome.
that's a really good idea. And little sword-shaped sticks.
Yeah, those sword-shaped sticks. Have it. They have like
awesome.
materia-like candy come out.
Oh shit, just gumballs. That'd be
Little materia jawbreakers.
Square should fucking get on that shit.
Sorry, it just cracks me up.
Marketing
that's
opportunity.
Really, yeah, that's a
I
marketing.
love
Someone's gonna
trivial-
steal that and make
I-
millions, and we're gonna be
I
screwed.
know, we're gonna make it happen. I just love trivializing pain. It's just so funny. Like all these
That's
Final
awesome.
Fantasy fans will be like, no, and then someone else will be like, I want candy. And they're beating it with a fucking stick. Oh yeah, no, it was Naya the gamer who was gonna do that for her wedding cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll send you a fucking pinata, I promise.
No,
we'll send you
please.
an Eris pinata for your,
That's
for your
such a good
wedding.
idea. It's gonna feel awful though, like the head pops off, like it's
Especially
like it's
because
all
that's where the
mangled.
string's attached to, so the
But
head's
she's
going to be dangling
full of
around as all these little
materia
gumballs
candy.
everywhere.
You'll have
I
a
just
slow-mo clip in the wedding video of just like a lemon head falling out in slow motion into the water.
Oh yeah, no, you can
Like the
videotape it
material.
as like as the head like comes off, and it's just like, and then like you can edit over. It's just like limit break.
Omni Slash.
Oh, back on track. No,
I actually just read it real quick. I remember how I mentioned earlier about characters getting married and having babies and stuff.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about this, but in Final Fantasy X2, Waka and Lulu get married.
Oh yeah, Waka and
She gets
Lulu get
pregnant.
married.
Yeah,
She's
she gets
pregnant with this
in
kid,
the second one, and
which was so funny because they had no relationship in the in
none, and it
Fantasy
was so
X.
random. Yeah, it was so
Like
random.
he told Titus or whatever that he liked her, I guess, but there was never any like you never saw them cuddling or
yeah.
you know
That was pretty cool, though, I thought.
Talking
Even though
to each other.
X2 is kind of like a weird game. Like, I like X2, but even though it's kind of weird, I thought that was one of my favorite parts, is when you meet them and you find out they got married and had a kid. I thought
that was really cool that they did that.
Yeah.
Any other comments that are jumping out at you guys? I know, Topher, you had one that was...
Oh, Lethal Hairdo had an awesome question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He asked what were our favorite, if we had a crush on anyone in a video game. Or a video
Carmen
game.
San Diego.
Oh, that's
We knew
right.
Anthony's
He's in
answer.
love with Carmen San Diego, which is awesome.
I would cut off both my legs to have sex with Carmen San Diego.
Well, I'm just like, could you still have sex? Oh, I guess you could.
This is like, actually, I've known this for so long about you, but I've never really asked. What is it about her?
Okay, well, A, she's
Here we go.
How much time do we have left? A, she's super mysterious. B, she's got that dangerous genius, like she's super smart. And C, I always thought that she wasn't actually stealing things for money or anything like that, but she knew that that she was teaching little kids about geography and stuff, so she was really doing it for them. She's like an altruist who wants to pretend like she's a criminal. She's like teaching kids all around the world how to count and spell and learn geography by stealing shit from the Louvre.
The man can't stop me from bringing the knowledge.
She doesn't follow the man's rules.
That's awesome. Well, what about you?
Great.
What about you, Toph?
I'm gonna have to go with Yorda from Eco.
Ooh, good one. She is really
Because
awesome.
she was really pretty, and she was like kind of mysterious and maybe a little creepy and possibly evil.
Yeah.
And I like that in a woman. Also, she never
Yeah.
said a word ever.
Not in English, anyway.
Yeah.
That's true.
She had like a couple lines, but they were in some crazy language.
Isn't there I read somewhere that there's some way to get those translated into English, like there's an actual translation of what she's saying or something.
Really? I thought that was
Ooh,
just
that's
like a
awesome.
made-up gibberish language.
I mean, that's how it should be. I can't imagine anything her saying being better than whatever you could make up, so.
I know it
Yeah,
is in
exactly.
Shadow of the Colossus. It's like made up.
Yeah.
What about you, Chad?
You know me, I have pretty much a crush on every video game character I play.
Princess
But-
Peach.
But I love
Peach.
everyone.
Peach.
Well, of course, my number one love of all time will be Echo, of course, for reasons we all know. But that's kind of gross.
Yeah.
I also kind of secretly
Blowholes, baby,
obsessed-
blowholes.
I don't really have any crushes. Like, I don't really want to like date any really of my video game characters. But the one character I'm kind of obsessed with, and of course I'm bringing this up, but I won't talk about it for very long, is Alex, because she's awesome.
Oh, from what?
Uh-huh.
Where is that from? Yeah, Rab's like,
Yep. That
So
one game she's in.
yeah, I'm kind of saying that more for Anthony too, because I am just as obsessed with her as well. And I know
Yeah.
Anthony will appreciate it if I bring her up because he loves her.
Yep.
But besides the fact that she's just awesome, she really has like such an interesting story, and like she's so helpful, and she's awesome.
That's cool. Mine
Yep.
was always it's not always, but I mean the one that really comes to mind at the moment is as Samus from Metroid.
I was actually going to ask that because I never think about her as like a sexual being. Like I don't think about her as anything else except just being a kick-ass bounty
There are
hunter.
plenty of people on DeviantArt that do.
Well, see, no, that's the thing. It's like, one of the things that's just like, you know, everyone usually goes for like sort of that helpless damsel in distress kind of mentality, and I'm just that actually just annoys the ever loving hell out of me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Usually.
Just like that's based off just my actual personality. It's just like helpless. Not like to say people like in need are annoy me. But just like people are
Fuck
just
homeless
like
kid.
yeah, you know, like fuck everyone. You know. No, it's just kind of like that whole like you can't do something for yourself kind of mentality. Just it grates on me, and
Yeah.
you know, like Samus is like the quintessential like I don't need you or anyone else, and like I'm still like hot and the baddest motherfucker in ever, and I'm just like that's awesome. You know, that's why I kind of like the Lara Croft character too, because it was just like, you know, obviously, you know, not has anything to do with like the egregious amount of memories that they gave her in the first game, but it was just like, you know, it's just like it was like a chick who's tough. Like that's cool, you know. It's just like
Yeah, actually,
you know,
my real answer would be Tifa.
yeah,
And it also has nothing to do with the huge boobs.
yeah, 'cause,
But
like,
just because, I don't know, she was like that too.
yeah,
And she
And
actually,
she was
like,
kind of a tomboy too, you know.
yeah, like she wasn't scared to get dirty. And, like, she actually really, truly loved Cloud.
yeah. But it
You know
was
what I
just
mean?
like
There
I
wasn't
like.
any...
what is the one that you were mentioning, Topher? It's just like also possibly evil. It's just like that's like
Sorta.
it's that side of danger where you're just like, there's so many characters and you're female characters and they're just like typical in true RPG fashion, like girl gets captured, boy hero goes saves it, and it's just like so many times you're just like this gets annoying, and it's just like Princess Peach, it's like Jesus bitch, can you not get captured every fucking game? Like really, seriously, put a
lock on the fucking
deadbolt
door.
on the fucking door, yeah, exactly,
Put a deadbolt on the
get
door.
a caller ID, whatever, fucking
If someone knocks, they're not selling you goddamn fucking insurance. Just don't open the
there's
door.
no such thing as a land shark, whatever, fucking just
Yeah, but that's the thing. Bowser doesn't just knock on the door anymore. He freaking like steals her whole castle.
Okay, because he's a badass now. But he used to be able to just rely on her retardation to get in.
yeah, exactly.
Singing telegram. Okay.
Yeah, hey, UNICEF. Oh, really? Yeah, so I don't know. It's just, and then you've got these, the Samus and the Lara character. It's just like there's no point in any of those games where it's like the man has to come in and save them. It's just like honest to God, it's just like they are a heroine. Like they don't have to worry about like oh suddenly I'm helpless. Look at me, the female stereotype, which it's just. That's what I find was more attractive, just in general and in real life. So yeah, chicks that kick ass.
Actually, this is a perfect time for an F, Marry, Kill. Do you guys want to do an F, Marry, Kill real quick?
A what?
Wait.
Fuck, marry, kill.
Wait, you don't know what an F, Marry, Kill is?
No.
You get 3 people, and then you have to decide which of them you'd fuck, which of them you'd marry, and which of them you would kill.
Yes.
Oh.
So let's take.
Sorry,
the
I
three
never
guys
went to camp. I don't know what these do.
I was like, I can't believe you ever heard of that.
You've never been
went to
bored around
camp
with somebody
either.
who's just as sexually repressed as you are?
I think.
I guess
know.
the
I think
answer's
I've done
no.
that like a million times. Well, we'll pick the 3 you guys chose. Like,
I grew up in a brothel
Tifa.
in Thailand, Rev. So
So F, Marry, Kill, Tifa, Alex from Half-Life, and Samus.
You kill Samus?
No, I'm just saying. You use those 3 and you choose.
what did
I
you
don't
just
know.
name 4?
No, Tifa,
Tifa,
Alex.
Samus, and Alex.
Samus.
Yeah.
And who? Alex.
Alex from Half-Life.
I don't know her, so she
Oh,
can
wow.
die.
I'll marry her.
There you go. I'd totally marry. There you go, Tifa, and then fuck the shit out of Samus. There you go.
See,
I'd
that's
fuck
easier
Tifa
for
Because she'd
and then
never
not-
fucking be home. Like Tifa would be, it's like Samus. I'd be like writing her letters, like, when are you coming back? And she'd be like, oh, well, that Metroid got out again. Sorry, blah.
See, I would fuck Tifa and then kill Samus, because what if you were having sex with Samus and then all of a sudden she did the morph ball thing? She would rip your dick off.
Yeah, that's true.
That would be
Freeze it
horrible.
off.
I'm gonna go with fuck Alex, marry Tifa, and kill Samus.
Okay.
That's a pretty
Hey.
good one.
Sorry, Chad, you picked Samus. I had to kill somebody. And it's not gonna be Alex or Tifa.
I picked her.
Yeah, it's always tough when there's 3 people you actually like.
Yeah. All
The
right,
kill
Chad.
is always the hardest. Like, which one you want to kill is always the hardest.
Chad.
If Daisy was in there, trust me, she would be the obvious choice.
But no,
Ooh.
Chad, it's your turn. It's your turn.
Yeah, it's your turn, Chad.
Oh, I would probably F Samus. No, wait.
Say goodbye to your dick.
This is. wait. I would marry Alex. I would F Tifa, and I'll kill Samus. Yeah, I have to do that one. I mean, I love Samus like more than words, but Tifa is like a perfect person, and Alex is like the greatest human being ever. So I mean, I have to marry her, of course. I mean, that's like not even a question.
Dun
That's it.
dun dun.
Not looking good for Samus.
Yeah.
I know. But I love Samus. I
She
feel
can
bad.
handle herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She probably wouldn't even die. She would probably just like
She's
kill
not gonna like
Samus.
let you kill her.
Samus
I know,
would be
she-
like, yeah, bring it. She's like, I take down every Ridley every game. She's like, Toph and Chad are gonna hurt me? No.
I actually have a good question in here from The Ghost.
Mhm.
They said, if you could get any 2 characters from 2 different games together for a date, who would it be and why? That's a good question.
Someone else go first. I can't think of that.
Yeah, this is one of those questions it's hard to think like off the top of our heads, but
Solid Snake and Bowser.
Wow, that would be an interesting date.
Solid's making anybody, as far as I'm concerned. Solid's making a Big Daddy. Solid's making, I don't know.
I would take the 2 dudes from Contra and then the 2 creepy dudes from Cho Aniki because they look like they all want to party.
I would
if
take...
listeners, you can look up Cho Aniki and then you'll be like, oh, that was funny.
Wait. I think you guys are thinking that you're saying take on a date. I think they're saying you would take 2 characters and put them on a date together.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what
Oh. Sorry, that joke completely went past me. Sorry about that. No, that's really funny, Dyson. Very funny.
I would take Cloud Strife and put him on a date with Samus so she could cut his dick off for not taking Tifa like he should have.
Yeah, for real. That actually, remember those old, like, didn't they have an old cartoon where they had, like, a bunch of video game characters all together in, like, one show?
Captain
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be kind of cool nowadays to take a bunch of characters from different games and put them together and see how they
No, I
react.
wouldn't. Don't say that. Somebody else.
No, not like a cartoon. Just, I mean, like, just
Like
kind of a
Super
fun...
Smash, like a game like Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And every time Mega Man says something, it'll be like, that's mega awesome. That's mega cool.
They'll keep
That's mega
delaying and
bad."
delaying, and everybody will freak out, and it'll be all that we ever get tips about.
One of my dudes in my office bought imported it, and they've been playing it. It's fucking awesome. New Smash Brothers. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Really? The
excited.
first time you played it, you said it was just kind of
The first time I played it, it wasn't. It's more the same. Like, it really is, but I like it. So, like, from an objective point of view, you know, it really is more of this. It's Smash Brothers. Like, you're like, I'm playing the exact same game, but with more awesome. But from my personal, like, completely non-objective point of view, like, not as a writer or whatever, I'm like, I fucking want it so bad.
Yeah, I can't wait.
All right. Well, are there any questions? Because I think we're running pretty long.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah?
We don't really want to talk that much about Valentine's Day stuff anymore. It depresses us. It makes us angry.
Yeah.
just look up ladder theory, and then you pretty much all you have to know about human sexual relationships.
I don't even want to know what that is right now. So
It's not gross. It's just really pessimistic
okay.
and completely true.
And it's written by Reverend Anthony.
No, I wish I had though. I really wish I had.
Awesome. All right, well, happy Valentine's Day, guys.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, woo!
Hide your right hand for me.
Yeah.
Do you?
I'll be at work, so fuck it, whatever.
So you're gonna be doing it anyway,
yeah,
obviously.
exactly. You got
Can I
it.
take a break, boss? Yeah, sure, whatever. Same
I'm
time
gonna
every
take
day.
my lunch in the bathroom.
Well, Colette's obviously listening, so we'll wish her a happy Valentine's Day as well.
Yay! And everyone
Because
else.
if she was here, she could add a lot of female perspective to this.
I
since
know.
you had-
You'd be using her left hand.
Oh God! All right.
or both.
Well, everyone, listeners, give us a call or write us an email because you can't call us.
Okay.
RetroforceGO.com.
That was awesome.
Call us
Get
at
drunk and send us a
retrofort@gmail.com.
Yeah, get
I
drunk.
just love how your two thoughts totally went into one sentence. You're like, give us a call or shoot us an email or not call us because you can't call us.
Yeah. I'm like, until you finish the sentence, you can continue to amend the mistakes. So.
And it's like you never made the mistake at all because you never
Exactly.
finished the sentence.
Yeah. So it's retroforce@destructoid.com or yeah, sorry. Like I said, I haven't had a lot of sleep lately. So happy Valentine's Day, everybody. And oh, who's the winner? Comment winner.
I'd say it's between the Ghost or Lethal Hairdo. Lethal Hairdo had about the video game crushes, and the Ghost asked about putting the two characters together. I would say Lethal Hairdo. That's a pretty good question.
Yeah,
That's just my
let's
vote.
do that.
Lethal Hairdo, you're the winner. You are winner. So once again, Lethal, send us your email, and we will attribute many prizes and glory upon you. So.
Validus for the win.
Woo! And until next week. All right,
Bye.
everybody. Have a good one.
Good night.
Night.
Fuck you.